Well, welcome everybody once again. Football game here on Madison CW. I'm Jim Caston along with Chris Canty, and tonight we find ourselves once again at Breitenbach Stadium here at Middleton as the Cardinals from Middleton host the Cougars of Janesville. Craig is into this game with a record of 3-4. They need 2 wins to get into the playoffs. Meanwhile, Middleton has already punched their ticket to the playoffs, but they are looking to bounce back strong after a loss to Sun Prairie last week and go into the playoffs with plenty of momentum. Let me welcome in Chris Canty. Another beautiful night. The weatherman has helped us out again. Middleton played Sun Prairie really well last week, Chris. I think they lost 21-14. It's only their second loss of the year. Nothing to be ashamed of. They're healthy. They run, they pass. We've seen them. They do a lot of things well, don't they?
Definitely. I think after we did our Beloit-LaFollette game last week, I was racing home to get to my computer to see the score, and I saw the 21-14, and we got a chance to get some insight from Coach Simon this week. He said it was, it was a close game. They kept it close. Had some issues with turnovers last week. Not your typical Middleton football, so looking to kind of rebound this week.
Craig, on the other hand, is the leading rushing team in the Big 8 Conference, and they come in with a great quarterback tonight that we'll keep an eye on.
They really do, and we're excited to see Craig. We haven't seen Craig before. Some great offensive talent. Struggled a little bit defensively so far this year, but Tom Gabauer is going to be at the helm tonight at quarterback, and his coach had so many great things to say about him. Coach Ben McCormick was just kind of gushing over his quarterback and really saying how talented he was and what a great leader he's been so far this year.
This will be Travis Zander for Middleton. They'll set up the return to the left. He'll fake the handoff and try to stretch it left. Gets the edge and now has room to go, and down the sideline he goes before he's finally pushed out of bounds. Good return to open it up for Middleton to start 1st and 10 in our first possession of the contest.
So Middleton getting off to a great start there with a fantastic return, getting the ball to almost midfield.
Another phenomenal weather night tonight. We really haven't any cold weather. It might be a little bit nippy. Some sweatshirts and light jackets the order of the night, particularly later on, but it's been great.
Maybe for you, Jim. Some of us tough guys are out here, tank tops. Fans can't see it, but just let them believe.
That's right. Tough is not one thing I've been accused of being in the past. From their 38, the quarterback is Casey Miller. He'll start out with a throw, and that one does not go very far as Javen Murray, a safety for Janesville Craig, makes the stop on Damon Hill, the leading receiver for Middleton.
We just talked a little bit about Janesville Craig's defense. I guess they're trying to prove me wrong right off the bat. Great stick by Janesville to hold Middleton as they tried that little wide receiver, little quick pass, quick out, and just nothing doing. It was a great read there by the Janesville defense.
Murray is a corner, not a safety. They lose 4, 2nd and 14, and this is Charles Braxton, the running back for Middleton, the leading rusher for them on the year, toting it for the 117th time this year, and he goes over the 700-yard mark. He gets up to the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, we're getting one more look at Charles Braxton here on the Friday night games at CW. It's been a pleasure to watch. I think he was actually our 4th player of the game just a few weeks ago. And here got the SLS cellular replay here. You can see him on the toss. Looks to cut it outside. Sees a hole in the inside. Braxton has great vision. Just a really, really good running back for Middleton this year.
3rd down and 3. Braxton again, and he is hammered before getting the necessary yardage. That was a very good play by one of the linebackers for Janesville Craig. Evan Shortreed, who is also a running back on offense, filled the gap very quickly and limited him to 2 yards. They'll be 1 yard short, but I think they'll go for it, Chris.
And again, Janesville Craig with a nice defensive read. Middleton going with the toss wide, trying to stretch the edge a little bit with Braxton, and he just wasn't able to find a hole there. So kudos to the Janesville defense on that one.
Well, they'll go power I, a little early test here for the Middleton offense and the Craig defense. Braxton puts his head down and gets very close. Based on where that spot is, I think he made it maybe half a yard. But a flag, however, in the backfield, and that usually means on the offense.
This would be a pretty detrimental holding call.
Oh boy, you bet. So Tim Simon and the Cardinals decide to make a statement early. I don't know if that official has seen the flag yet. The official, the head referee, well, he threw the flag, that's his. And they're gonna wave it off, okay. So there you go. 1st down, Middleton. They get up to the 49.
So we had a great conversation before the game about college officials, not so much high school, but you know, we're hoping these guys are talking a little more. You know, don't be afraid to conference. Boys in black and white.
Casey Miller on play action. Throws it out, and he's got a man open. That is Adam Fry, a fullback, and across midfield and into Janesville Craig territory.
Nice job there by Miller. I think we might have a quick replay here. There we go, just perfect time. Quick, nice fake on the inside run there. Just a nice little pop pass. Perfect run. Easy pickup for Middleton right there.
They gained 19
yards.
yards.
Almost untouched.
That's a Serve Pro first down, and our replay is brought to us all year long by SLS Cellular. We appreciate Nick and company over there. Had a chance to meet them last week. They'll go back to the ground game. Braxton through the middle makes a nice little wiggle and gains close to 10 more, about 9 on that crack for the Cardinals.
Again, Braxton on the carry. Just watch tonight when you see his foot speed is just incredible to me. One of the fastest backs in the league, and just absolutely able to see the hole, able to find open holes, has great hip movement. Been really impressed with his running style this year. He's not the biggest guy on the field, but I'll tell you what, he runs hard.
Well, Chris, I would put it this way. Middleton knows what they like, and they're good at it.
They are, aren't they? That's what I'm telling you, Jim. Running the ball, passing the ball, they do it all quite well.
Second down and a yard for the Cardinals. Braxton is the I-back. And a flag from the defensive backfield. That looks like a delay. And the referee is mic'd here. Let's see if we can pick it up. Nope, couldn't pick it up. It didn't flip the right button there. These guys are not used to that. They probably have to have a little teaching beforehand to make sure they know what button to flip.
I used to hate the mic when I played Mustang football here, because I knew the ref crew that we had, and they would only call the number if it was a holding call on me. That was the only time they called the number.
Sounds personal. I thought you said there were never any on you.
Well, I mean, I didn't say the call was correct. I just said it got called.
2nd and 6, and Braxton gets to the 25. He'll be about 1.5 yards short. It'll bring up 3rd and short again for Middleton. Hey, speaking of the Mustangs, the Madison Mustangs semi-pro
Kudos,
team.
my boys.
It's involved
in black
in the
and yellow, fantastic game. Got a chance to be on the sidelines.
Championship game again this year for their new league.
It was. Everyone said that they weren't going to win the MSFL, but I'll tell you what, they're going to get their shot October 19th. If any of you guys are Madison Mustang fans, make sure you tune in. Or I shouldn't say tune in. We're not going to be doing it on TV, but it'll be in Kenosha this year.
Well, maybe we'll do it for practice. Miller will run. He's not a big running threat as a quarterback. He'll get the first down and get it down to the 20-yard line. He picked up about 4. And that was a good run by a quarterback who doesn't run very much.
Yeah, Casey Miller, Luke Schaefer, a little bit more of their running threat at quarterback. We may see a little bit of Luke tonight, possibly in the 3rd or 4th series. You can see Casey Miller there. Did a nice job there finding the open holes.
Luke Schaefer started the year as the quarterback. He played last year, but they like him so much on defense as a DB, and Casey Miller is very competent, so Schaefer does not play quarterback that much anymore. Miller on the bootleg. Avoids pressure temporarily and then is thrown for about a 3-yard loss. Coming up to make the play is Isaiah Berghammer, should say, at defensive end for Janesville Craig. We heard that he likes to go by the nickname of Ice.
We're going to get Ice calls tonight. Got to make some plays, though. Now, going back to Luke Schaefer, really an unselfish move. We talked to Coach Simon a few weeks ago, and he just said that they needed him on defense. He enjoys playing in the defensive backfield, and I think he probably missed playing quarterback a little bit, but just a really unselfish move, and let Casey take the helm.
And there's a draw play, and that gains a couple. They're still behind the original line. 3rd down and 11. As Casey comes to the sideline for a little instruction from Tim Simon.
Middleton going with the toss a little bit more tonight. Already, that's the 3rd toss tonight, so I'm wondering if that's just a little wrinkle or if they've seen something from Janesville they like and are trying to get to that edge. So there may be a little bit less talent in the interior, I should say on the exterior of that line than it is in the interior.
Miller setting up a screen. Fry has it and is met and dropped. We were, quite frankly, a little bit suspicious of the Janesville Craig defense coming in, but boy, they played like gangbusters here early on, Chris. That was a great play by Sam Brennan, a junior linebacker.
And the one thing I'm noticing, they are wrapping up, Jim. These guys are hitting hard, and these are good quality square tackles.
Only got a yard, so it's 3rd down and 10. 4th down and 10, I beg your pardon. And this might be too long to kick. This would be about a 37-yarder or so. So at the opponent 20, Tim Simon will go for it. Miller bobbled, unleashes down to the corner. Hill is there. He makes the grab. Did he stay in? Yes! For the touchdown. Reinstead, rather, with the grab, and Middleton is on the board on a 20-yard touchdown pass.
Great job there by Middleton. We're going to get the SLS replay here. Casey Miller barking out the signals you see there. Knows exactly where he wants to go. Quick little shoulder fake. Stands in the pocket and takes the hit. Derek Ronstadt, great job there. You can see him sliding those feet. Little turf balls popping up. That's how you know he got those feet down. All around great play for Middleton right there.
And that comes at the 5:41 mark of quarter number 1. And Middleton has jumped out early, and Ronstadt will try to put all 7 points on the board. He does, as the Middleton kicker. 7-0 is the score here early on at Breitenbach Stadium as Middleton leads Janesville Craig. You're watching high school football on Madison CW.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Madison Media Institute. Students at Madison Media Institute are given hands-on training from Grammy and Emmy award-winning faculty. Visit mediainstitute.edu. It all starts here.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping me with my business.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for giving people with disabilities a chance.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping rescue animals that can't save themselves.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for backing family farms like ours.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping students like me with scholarship grants.
Thanks, Blackhawk.
You're our kind of place.
Our kind of people.
Blackhawk Community Credit Union, dedicated to saving our members money and doing what's right for our community.
Well, the Middleton fans are very happy, Chris, whatever that gesture might mean.
They're having fun out here for homecoming.
It is homecoming here for Middleton. Ronstadt for the year is 20th grab and his 4th touchdown on the season. And that kick is bobbled and picked up at the 5 by Janesville Craig. And their first possession is going to be inside their 20 at the 15 for Casey Miller, his 8th touchdown pass of the year against 6 interceptions.
Casey Miller has been really impressive so far. And I think you and I both were a little surprised to see that when we did our second Middleton game, to hear from Coach Simon that, you know, Luke wasn't going to be starting anymore. But after seeing him play, I can definitely see why. Always nice to have 2 quality quarterbacks you can really interchange on your roster.
So at their own 16-yard line, the Cougars of Janesville Craig, and we'll tell you about their quarterback. He's a very good one, Todd Gabauer. And they're going to have an end around trying to throw it. That's Ryan Kind, one of their receivers. He decides to run and gets a nice gain out over the 30 to near the 35-yard line.
So again, we talked about it in the open. This Janesville Craig offense is very talented. Their defense, you know, still needs a little bit of work, but offensively, they have really been a juggernaut here. You can see on the little end around, able to get some great positive yardage there.
That was a run of 20 yards by Ryan Kind. Gabauer is one of the best running quarterbacks in the league. This is a team, Janesville Craig, that runs it a lot. This is their fine running back, Trey Hall. Smallish at 5'9", 155, but he has run for 587 yards coming in.
Trey Hall was one of the, we always ask for a few kind of standout players, and Coach McCormick definitely highlighted Trey Hall. Said he's one of the fastest guys on the team. Great young player, and looking forward to watching him tonight.
Unfortunately, that one is called back for a hold at the line of scrimmage. It is marked from the spot, which happened to be just about at the line, so they mark it back at the 25. Christendom will be 1st and 20. The quarterback, Gabauer, is 5'11", 195. Chris For the year, he's completed 26% of his throws, 13 for 50 for the season. He did miss a couple of games. Here's Hall again on the end around, cuts through a little bit of a slice and then is nailed to the turf by the leading tackler for Middleton. That's Matt Hong, the middle linebacker, a 6-foot senior, 205 pounds, and he laid the wood to Hall there.
I don't know. I think Hall might have laid the wood to him possibly.
Either
Nice
way,
job
you're right.
by both players. I think
To each other.
Hall was jaw-jacking a little bit after that one. He might have earned it. But
Picked
again,
up 4. Go ahead, Chris.
Again, we're seeing Hall featured here for Janesville Craig. He's going to be their #1 rusher tonight, and so far he's done a nice job.
Second down, 16. Gabauer has it, fakes the handoff on the option read, will throw. They don't do this very often, but there's Kind, makes the catch at the 40 and is flung out of bounds near the first down. 2 plays and they get 19 yards and they're right there.
Again, great play there by Gabauer. We're going to get the SLS replay here. See a little fake inside zone read. Quick little sprint right. Receiver wide open there. You get your receivers open on a linebacker, that's exactly what you want. To be able to utilize some of that speed.
Well, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 41, so they're 4 yards short on third down. Now an inside handoff to Hall, gets the first down and then is hammered to the turf, but picks up the necessary yardage, plus a yard, and gets to the 46.
Janesville right there doing their best Verona imitation. Little wing T setup.
Well, in rushing for the year, Chris, they are #1. They average 64 yards a game. Janesville Parker is second. Sun Prairie, the undefeated leader in the conference at 7-0, is third in rushing. Middleton is fourth. This team can run a lot.
I think next week we're doing Parker v. Craig in the Battle of Janesville. So
we may not see a pass all night.
There may not be any turf left on the field. We'll let it run.
That carry by Hall up to midfield. It'll be second down and 6. Gabauer has completed the 26. He's thrown for a couple of touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Hall has run for 587. We also expect to see Austin Huber, a fullback. He's run it for 287 yards. Hall and Huber, along with Gabauer, are the leading rushers for Janesville Craig. And Huber is the fullback on this play. They'll give it to him through the middle. No, they keep it. And Gabauer faked out the announcer and some of the Middleton defenders and gets it all the way into Middleton territory to the 40-yard line.
Again, you see Janesville Craig here working this little zone read. It's working pretty well for them. They've been able to run the ball. I see why they're the #1 rushing team in the Big 8. You see the wheels on Gabauer there. Nice job moving the chains.
Well, we've been impressed by Madison Memorial, Chris. They beat Memorial last week, 27-14. So this Janesville Craig team, 3-4, but they're no shrinking violet, that's for sure.
They had a great win last week against Memorial. I don't think a lot of people picked them in that game, but it just shows you never know. If you're Memorial, there's never any easy weeks.
Hall is thrown down there for a loss. That was defensive tackle Chase Jolly, I believe, with the tackle in the play there for Middleton.
We're going to get the SLS replay here. You see, he does give on the handoff. He had the option to keep that. Middleton does a nice job sniffing that one out.
And Chris, I had a chance to meet Chase's mom on the way in tonight. She was one of the ticket takers. And
Miss Jolly?
Yes, and she made me
very, she said, make sure I...
Very well known that her...
Yeah, she said, you called my son's name a few times.
Son was number 59.
I said, hey, he's got to do something. He's got to do something. And there he is right there.
I said, we'll make sure we do if he gives us cause, and he did there. Second down and a ton, about 13. And this time Gabauer keeps it. They key it very well, but he drags a tackler back to the original line of scrimmage. That's Nico Miller, a big defensive tackle who read it well, but Gabauer is pretty strong. Turn your interest in graphic design and web development into a professional career with Madison Media Institute's Digital Art and Design program. Explore the possibilities at mediainstitute.edu. Third down and 10 for Craig. Kind will go to the right. And there'll be Alex Rohr in the slot. He's also a senior receiver. catch it that much. Here's a new quarterback in the game for them, and he avoids pressure. That's Shane Ellis, who was a junior. They change it up a little bit. He comes in and plays him. That's by design. And they lose 3 back to the 43-yard line, 4th and 13.
I wonder if they're switching it up here just to get maybe more of a passing threat. I'd say 3rd and long is not usually the place you'd want to see a coach start switching up QBs.
Now they will punt it.
Play a little field position game here.
Sam Pluchak will punt it for Craig. Low snap. Delivers a high arching punt. And that one will go into and out of the end zone. Luke Schaefer let it go. And so that's a touchback. Middleton gets it on their own 20-yard line. We're in the first. Only 18 seconds left in it. 17, beg your pardon.
All this run has been a fast quarter here, Jim. I looked up.
Compared to some of the games we've had, it is. It has been one score, a 20-yard touchdown pass from the arm of Casey Miller to Derek Rongstad on 4th and 10 at the Janesville Craig 20. They went for it. They lofted it to the end zone. Rongstad made a great catch, kept his feet in bounds nicely on the back line of the end zone, and scored the touchdown for Middleton.
You know, we were talking for the game, Jim, and really just another typical year for Middleton. Should be a playoff run for them, and with 5 wins already, and looking to get 6 tonight.
Flare-off pass there as Braxton makes the catch and carries it up over the 25-yard line, 27. That was Hill, rather, and that should play out the quarter here, I think. It will. And so we'll take a break, and we'll come back for quarter number 2. It's been a good one, as Middleton leads Janesville Craig by a score of 7-0. Second quarter on the way on Madison CW.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Serve Pro of Madison. Call Serve Pro of Madison at 221-1818 for all your fire and water emergency restoration needs. Serve Pro of Madison, like it never even happened.
At Kaiser, we've changed the guest experience by redesigning our new facility around you. From the comfort of our new service area to the addition of the new ownership salon, to make your experience with us as enjoyable as possible. Now is the time to get a new F-150. Lease a new 2013 Ford F-150 for just $269 a month during Ford Truck Month at Kaiser Ford, Wisconsin's truck headquarters. Experience the new Kaiser Ford Lincoln off the Beltline at Todd Drive or at kaiseronline.com.
So we go to the second quarter, and Middleton has the ball up 7-0, but Janesville Craig has been impressive tonight.
They really have. You know, their defense again surprised us. We mentioned that in the first quarter. Some great form tackle. They could have ran a clinic on tackling here in the first quarter. So impressed to see that from this defense, but we'll see what they do here on the series.
Casey Miller on second down gives it through the middle. That's his big fullback again. They get a lot of good yardage there. Adam Fry, 6 touchdown runs on the year, and a lot of that his 41st carry of the year. He's also caught it 4 times. They get a first down and get it up to the 39.
Adam Fry, good, tough, hard-nosed football player. Already made a nice little catch on a pop pass to get a first down. You see another nice run there. Someone they definitely rely on at the fullback position.
They'll go from the eye. Middleton will show you a little bit of everything. Some read options. Shotgun. This time they go deep to the right. Rongstad out there again and off his hands. At about the 35-yard line of Janesville Craig.
Derek trying to rack up the yards here. Another shot, and he had a shot at that one. Just right through the fingertips.
Justin Filter, a safety on the coverage for Craig. Second down. Oh, those hurt, don't they, when you're right out there and it's right in your hands?
I know, right? When I was making 12, 15 catches a game, I'll tell you. I did catch 2 passes in a flag football game, so kind of.
Well, you knew what you liked, and you were good at it. So. Braxton through the middle has yardage out to the 43, just about. Almost 4 yards for Charles Braxton. Third down for the Cardinals. Braxton coming in 4th in the league in rushing. Noah Diaz of Sun Prairie. By far and away, Chris, the leading rusher coming in. 1,243 yards for him. Khalil Kopis of La Follette, who we saw last week. And then Dyvon Vance Jenkins of Parker, who we'll see next week. And then Braxton, the leading rushers in the Big 8. 3rd down, play action, Miller will throw. Gotta find somebody. Tightlow aligns the sideline, and Rongstad amongst enemy defenders there. Couldn't get a hand on it. They'll have to kick it away.
Again, good defense there by Janesville Craig. Just nowhere to go with the football, and had to make a tough pass, almost a little bit across the body back in the field to play a dangerous pass. And luckily that one was not intercepted. But again, kudos to the Janesville Craig defense. They're playing tough tonight.
DJ Weberg is going to take this punt, and he is stacked up at the 35-yard line. Janesville Craig takes over early 2nd quarter. Don't forget, you can tune into CW 57 Saturday nights at 7, Sundays at 10 o'clock to see all the action of high school football, well, at least for one more week.
It'll be 1st and 10, Janesville Craig from their own 37-yard line.
You can see CW 57 on cable channel 2, HD 616, Dish and Direct TV. And so it is 1st down for Janesville Craig. They're at the 37-yard line. Their own. Gabauer will take it, and not much going over to the right side. Among those there, Elliott Tannen, the linebacker for Middleton. He and Hong make a formidable duo in the middle of that defense.
Hong has been impressive all season. You want to know who else has been impressive, Jim? Serve Pro of Madison. When you need it done right and done fast, call 221-1818 for all of your fire and water emergency restoration needs.
Bada bing. 2nd down for Craig. And 9. Gabauer to throw it and completes the pass. That's Alex Rohr's split end, a senior, to the 45-yard line. And they pick up about 7 there. Nice gain. So they have 2 to go, a manageable 3rd down distance.
It's manageable. This is going to be tough. The Middleton defense, they're going to be rearing back here on 3rd and long, preparing for that pass. Expect the pass rush here. I think they're going to have to get this ball pretty quickly.
Gabauer comes out with 2 backs behind him, wing left. Hall puts his hand on the back of his blocker trying to get room and is forced out. Tannen there along with help, and that's going to be close. May require a measurement from across the field. Let's see.
Interesting call there, 3rd and long. You're probably thinking pass. They went with Trey Hall on the toss, but I think they're just trying to get him in some space. He is one of their fastest players. Just wasn't able to create, just no room really.
We can't hear him, Chris, but some of the Middleton coaches, I think, are less than pleased with the spotting of the ball. You see Tim Simon there putting his headset back on, now helping the referees as best he can. Tim is always there to help.
I think just about every coach and player, they're part-time refs when they're not.
They called it a 1st down. Tim had another job this week, too. On this homecoming week, there's a offside call unless somebody moved offensively. Good hard count, apparently, by Gabauer. Chris, on Wednesday night, they had what they do as part of homecoming is they have a powder puff game.
Yeah.
The senior girls play the junior girls, and Tim was the clock keeper. He was running the time here at Breitenbach Stadium for that event. So I told him he can no longer complain about any clock issues during one of his games.
I remember coaching powder puff. It was fun. Ours was in the morning. You had to come at 6 a.m. and it was like a league. Can we do this after school or something?
And you were the coach, huh?
I was. About 8 teams.
There's a great play on 1st and 5, and was that Hong? I think it was. No. From the defensive end, that was Ronks or Rogeberg, Derek Rogeberg, who made the stop for Middleton. See, you always knew how to meet the girls, didn't you? Coach powder puff football.
There you go. That's what we're all thinking. Show that you're a leader. Show that you can coach. I remember there was one girl we all wanted. I will not say her name, but everyone thought she was going to be just a stud. at football, and she disappointed a little bit.
I see.
She was a draft bust.
You wanted her because of football. I see.
Okay.
There's
Trying
another
to win,
great
baby. Trying to win.
There's another great stop by the Middleton defense. That was Tannen, the linebacker, Elliott Tannen. And they throw him back inside Janesville Craig territory. It'll go from 1st and 5 to 3rd and 9.
And if you watch number 79, that is Hayden Aker.
Aker made the play.
Big tackle on the offensive line, getting in there defensively. And I saw him make that move. And I said, they're not going to make that move unless he's probably planning to do something. And do something he did right there. Nice job, man.
So it is 3rd down and long. Gebauer over the middle, and Rohr can't haul it in. He was going to be smacked, most likely. Waiting there was Max Olerick to make a big hit, but that one's incomplete.
Gebauer drops back. Had his man wide open on that quick slant. Great call. Just really snuck in right behind those linebackers, and that play was there. That was a 1st down, and he made that catch.
So Schaefer will go back again, and Pluchak will kick it again. Alex Wood also back to receive the kick for Middleton. 8 minutes even to go, 2nd quarter. Pluchak, flat-footed kicker. There's Wood, calls the fair catch and sees it go out of bounds near the 20-yard line. So it's 1st down for Middleton. They have it at their 21-yard line. They lead 7-0. The only score of the contest came a little more than halfway through the 1st on the Derek Rongstead 20-yard catch from Casey Miller.
Great catch that was. I was thinking about that catch. A lot of times in high school football, you don't get a chance to see a player really, kind of tippy-tap those feet in bounds for a touchdown or a close catch, and Rongstead did a great job getting those feet in.
Did his best Jordy Nelson impersonation. Charles Braxton fights for yardage as he plows over right tackle and cracks the 25 near the 27 for about 6 yards.
Jim, while we have a second, let's talk about SLS Cellular.
Let's.
At SLS Cellular, Nick and his team will help you pick your phone and pick your service. They will also help you dump your contract and save you some money. Come visit them and enjoy a free cup of gourmet coffee.
And you got an autograph last week.
I did.
When Nick came
Young
to visit.
Caleb, who's in the commercial for SLS.
Fry jumps over a tackler and gets the 1st down, I believe, for Middleton near the 33. You were pretty thrilled about that.
Funny story. Thought he actually wanted my autograph, and he handed me 2 business cards with his signature. And so I signed them, handed them to Jim, and said maybe he wants us both, and he just never came back. So I'm pretty sure those were for me. He was giving me his autograph. He had no interest in mine whatsoever. A little hurt. Caleb, if you're watching, I'm a little hurt. But you are pretty cool. So
you're lucky he didn't charge you for that autograph. Braxton through the middle in a big hole to midfield and still going to the 46-yard line of Janesville Craig.
Again, you see Braxton on display there. If you let him get into space, he can be trouble. A lot of speed, a lot of power in that frame, and it was on display there.
And there you see Luke Schaefer, we should tell you, is in playing quarterback.
See Schaefer there on the handoff. A little bit of a zone read fake, just maybe to hold those backers.
And about 23 on that carry for Braxton. And it'll be Schaefer to run it for Middleton. He's all along. And a big gain down to the 30 of about 16 yards. And Chris, I thought I heard a whistle at the start of that, and I think some of the Janesville Craig players may have let up just a little bit.
I thought I did too, Jim. So we mentioned before, Luke Schaefer, very, very good running quarterback, truly a dual threat, and he will pick up that ball and run with it if he sees some space.
So this is planned for Middleton. Tim Simon wants to give Schaefer a few cracks at quarterback. He was not moved out of that position because of performance, but he has been such a great help on defense, and Casey Miller is a more than capable quarterback, that they want to keep them both fresh. And Braxton fights for yardage, banging into tacklers and making the most out of what looked to be nothing at first.
Braxton just searching for contact on that one. I think we're going to get a quick replay here. See, he took the shot kind of right around the 5 hole. You see him on the toss. Actually, probably even a little deeper than that. Plants that foot, looks to step outside. Bam. perfect.
Did you lay a little football lingo on us there?
Maybe. A little 5-hole.
5-hole?
5-hole, 9-hole.
You want to
They're
explain
running,
that?
Hold on, right after this play.
2nd and 6. Schaefer hands off to his big fullback, bumping and banging near the 20, and that should be another first down for Middleton. Adam Fry with another great carry for the Cardinals.
We told you they're going to use that fullback, Adam Fry. And he has
8 yards.
Done a nice job tonight. Every time he's touching the ball, he's getting positive yardage, moving those chains forward.
Right. Schaefer comes up. Fry is the fullback. Braxton dots the I. 1st and 10 from the 19. Reverse. Damon Hill sees a big gaping hole in the middle and weaving down inside the 5 for another first down.
The Johnny Manziel money side. Hill with a nice run. One of the best things I liked about that run, he actually cut that reverse short. We'll see here on the replay. Because he had the vision to see it. You see him right here. You know, a lot of players would have kept running to the outside. He saw the hole and was able to cut in. Very, very nice read. Good heads-up football play right there.
15 yards to the 4 for the Serve Pro first down. Braxton slicing, carrying to the goal line and in for the touchdown. 4 yards, Charles Braxton, and Middleton is on the board again here in the second quarter. Good run by Braxton. Let's see it again.
Braxton putting his name in the player of the game pot. Just a quick little inside run there. Nothing too fancy. Just your typical ground and pound football for Middleton up. If they have their way, it'll be 14-0 here in a second.
Armstead the kick, and it is good. So Middleton has scored in each quarter. And we are nearing halftime with 4:41 left in it. And Middleton has grabbed the 2-touchdown lead. We'll be right back on Madison CW 57.
At SLS Cellular, Nick and his team will help you pick your phone and pick your service. They'll also help you dump your contract and save you money. Come visit us and enjoy a free cup of gourmet coffee.
When you're ready,
ServPro, how can we help?
help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at ServPro, helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
So it's 14-0, and Chris, before this kick, we want to make sure that we thank the press box crew up here at Brighton Rock Stadium. These guys are the best, and they put out a spread tonight. I am telling you, I was ready for a nap before we started.
Yeah, they stepped their game up. I had to contribute this week.
Yeah, but taking the cake was the mac and cheese, I'll tell you that. And Janesville Craig with a nice return out near the 40-yard line. That was a good return by DJ Weberg of the Cougars.
So he gets the ball in this return, takes it at about the 7-yard line. Nice return, good vision, cuts it up the sideline. Can't quite beat Rongstead though. Rongstead's a pretty good last line of defense. That's a little better than maybe your average kicker.
From the 38. So now Janesville Craig has their work cut out for them. We'll see these guys again next week. We'll be down in Janesville for the Battle of Janesville to end the year. That ball tipped and falls to the turf. Intended for Roar on the near side. Not sure who got a hand on it, but one of those big guys up front did.
Jim, when I go back, you mentioned something just a few minutes ago about the number of the holes. So for those of you that don't know, we have an offensive play, you might hear 24 blast or 25 power. It really calls out to where the ball's going to be run. So as you're closer to the center, might be the 1 or the 0 hole. As you get farther out, you're going to get into your 7 holes, your 9 holes. And typically, odd is left, even is right.
Keeps it pretty simple. Gabauer through the middle and is smacked as he gets over the 45 to the 46. He'll be a couple short. That makes sense. That, you know, either side, you're one side or the other. You know which way the play is going. Number designation. Sometimes a lot of teams use colors.
You really do think about it, you know, playing offensive line. As soon as I heard, you know, if I heard an 8 or a 9, whatever it may be, you know, I'm thinking outside. I'm thinking I got to change my footwork. I may have to take a different angle. So, you know, players really do get that ingrained at a very young age.
3rd and a yard, big play for Craig if they want to keep the ball. They're down by 2, and they give it to their fullback. That's Huber. He spins and keeps going. What a nice run by Huber as he gets into Middleton territory. That is Austin Huber, 5'11", 185, but tough as nails, and he gets it to the 37 for a serve pro first down.
I feel like everybody can run the football in Janesville, Craig. They put in a fullback, they get 10 yards. They're really getting about 10, 12 yards a crack, it seems like.
16
another
for
nice
Huber.
Run. I got to give a shout out to the offensive line of Janesville. They're going up against a tough D line of Middleton. I know they don't have any points on the board, but they are moving the football today.
So it's first down. They'll double the wings here with one back. Why not? Give it to Huber again. It's working hard, and he picks up another big chunk, close to 10 more yards inside the 30.
I think they might be riding the hot hand here a little bit as we enter the half.
To finish the thought, Chris, too, we want to really thank the guys up here at Middleton. They treat us so well here always, but once a year they put on this spread, and ironically, we're usually here for that game.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works either. But they had a couple chili, they had all sorts of cakes and muffins and stuff, and it was really good. We appreciate them letting us partake. And Chris brought his famous mac and cheese, and it is good. Gabauer goes nowhere. They really sniff that out, and that goes nowhere in a hurry. Tannen there, along with Matt Hong, the middle linebackers, with their friends, really ganged up on Gabauer there.
You know, it's kind of been one step forward, 2 steps back a little bit for sometimes this Janesville offense. They'll have a few nice runs, and then you see a play like this and just not able to do anything with the pass. And when Middleton's defense really gets going, they are tough. They are big up front.
I want to give credit to Max Bayman. He was there as well, helping out. Safety for Middleton. So they give him a lot of forward momentum. 3rd down and about 4, and Hall crosses the 30, he gets to the 29. He's still going to be about 1.5 yards short. So one would think Craig would go for it here. Under 2 to go, and they're down by 2 touchdowns here in the second quarter.
This is a big drive here for Janesville. Craig, opportunity to get some points on the board. Short 4th and 2, something they really need to pick up. They continue this drive. They can make this game 14-7. I think that's fairly manageable going into the second half.
4th and about 1.5 yards, almost 2, to keep it alive. That's Huber, the tailback. They'll give it to Kind, or Rohr rather. No, it's Kind, the receiver. They try a little trickery, and he is thrown for a loss of about 5, back to the 34-yard line. Nothing there, and the Middleton defense really came up big.
They did. Big 4th and 2 for Janesville. Middleton's defense absolutely, Jim, as you mentioned, stepped up right there. A nice stop, pushing them back, controlling the line of scrimmage. Exactly what you're going to want to see.
What I see there, Chris, and a lot of examples of that here in the first half, not only is Middleton, they're tackling well and all of that, but they seem to have prepared really well. They seem to have this team really well scouted.
They do. They play great. They're in the right position, and they're making the plays they need to make to hold Janesville down a little bit here.
So here's Casey Miller. Let's see if they want to try to put some points up here over the middle. And it is complete. That's the big tight end, Mitchell Hurl. And he's over midfield inside the 45-yard line of Janesville Craig. About 23 yards on that pickup, and they're at the 43-yard line.
Is that Mitchell? I'm so sick I might hurl. Like that. That's my Chris Berman nickname for him.
I was hoping you wouldn't go there.
The big tight end. He's been a stud all season.
Miller airs it out, and it's incomplete. He intended that for DeMond Hill. I thought he was throwing it away, and Hill was there and actually almost made the catch.
Jim, while we got a second, I want to remind our fans, make sure you stop by Kaiser Ford Lincoln and check out Wisconsin's largest selection of new and pre-owned Fords, proudly serving Dane County since 1925.
So it's 2nd down and 10 for Middleton. With a minute even left in it, Braxton through the middle. Has a hole. Makes a move. Another one. Toward the sideline. And stops the clock. Pushed out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Charles Braxton once again, just absolutely impressive back. Nice job there. Offensive line creates some big holes tonight he's able to run through. We're going to get the replay here. You can see starts off with a little bit of an inside run. Watch the shoulder fake. Bam, right there. I'm going to plant that foot. It just keeps running to that outside.
30-yard run by Charles Braxton.
Good block also by Alex Leahy, number 30 on the edge.
To the 14-yard line at Janesville Craig. Middleton with plenty of time, and they stop the clock, trying to go up by 3 touchdowns. Leahy will catch it on the flare out, and he runs out of room in a hurry and is down for a loss outside the 15. Middleton has all their timeouts left, and I think they'll take one here with 42 seconds. They will indeed. Want to remind you, for our friends down in the Janesville area, a little media love here for the best live radio coverage of Janesville high school sports. Tune in to News Radio 1230, as they say, WCLO AM in Janesville. Check the broadcast schedule and listen to podcasts of every game on your computer or smartphone anytime at WCLO.com. That's 1230 AM. So they call the timeout and regroup here a little bit, Chris. 42 seconds. They have
pretty fast half here. This might be somebody get Guinness on the horn.
They're at the 16-yard line, and you start talking about number of plays here. 42 seconds. You can get 3, 4, if you do it right, maybe 5 even or more plays than that.
I think this is probably the perfect amount of time for Middleton here to score.
At the 16, Braxton through the middle has had a lot of good runs, but that time stacked up pretty well. And they move it further outside the hash, and the clock continues. They have 2 timeouts left. They're going to get it up in a hurry and see what they can do. From the 13, Miller is thrown for a loss. He goes down in a heap, and that should cause, I would think, a timeout. One would think. Harry Henschler, a linebacker, makes the tackle for Janesville Craig, and Middleton burns the second timeout.
I like the defensive call there, just blitzing a little bit, able to catch Middleton off guard, drop him for a loss for the sack.
So Middleton going the wrong way here. They had it at the 13, and now it's back outside at the 17. And they have 1 timeout and 19 seconds left. They have a 4th down and 15 to go. So tough going here.
Still plenty of time left on the clock.
And they'll kick it. So Rongstead will try a 35-yarder from the right hash. He has to hook this one back in. Plenty of distance, and it is good. Derek Rongstead kicks the field goal right into the Middleton band waiting there behind the goal post.
Job for that band, Derek.
And I think somebody caught it in their tuba.
That's a really nice kick. That's a tough kick. At this level, you don't see a ton of really talented kickers. Derek Rongstead, one of the better ones in the Big 8. While we get a quick second here, let's talk about Madison Media Institute. Learn to design and install cutting-edge media systems through the Electronic and Audio-Visual Systems program at Madison Media Institute. Visit mediainstitute.edu. It all starts here.
35-yard field goal, and Middleton now on top 17-0. That every little bit helps. Chris?
Always. That's a. You look at, you say they probably could have got that touchdown there, but 3 points in this game. Craig's offense is potent. They might be able to come back in the second half.
This does not bode well for Janesville Craig, Chris, because during the week I found this little statistic anomaly. Janesville Craig can put up some points. They've scored points. They average 33 a game, but for the season, through 7 games, they've scored 6 points in the third quarter. If that continues tonight, it may be too much to recover from. And that kick goes into the end zone.
If this was ESPN's Around the Horn, I would have just given you 6 points for that stat. That is a great stat right there.
They score 33 a game. They give up 32.4.
Only 6 points in the third quarter?
They've been outscored 54-6 in the third quarter of all their games this year.
Tells me one thing: either teams are adjusting to them, or they're not adjusting to the other teams.
So Gabauer will take the snap for Janesville Craig. Let's see if they want to hand it off through the middle. It's Huber, and gains considerable yardage over the 35 to the 37. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. Janesville Craig is not lining up quickly. That might be the half. Let's see. No,
they do have plenty of timeouts here.
Yeah, well, they'll take it. Well, now, Chris, they're at the 37, a lot closer to midfield, and they can maybe take a couple of shots. See across the way the Janesville Craig contingent for the game tonight.
Making the roadie out here to Middleton. Got to be careful here. Now that they called the timeout, they're obviously going to try to do something with this play. But it's just not the time for any errors or, don't force it. You got to be careful with fumbles here. Last thing they want to see is a pick six or fumble recovery for a touchdown, something silly like that.
So 6 seconds, maybe time for a couple of heaves here deep.
Gut feeling, I think this is probably going to be the last play. Anything deep is going to eat up that clock pretty fast.
So we will see Craig again next week. As I said, we'll be in Janesville at Monterey Stadium for the big inner city battle next week. It'd be nice to see our friends down there in
Janesville. Paying for a limo, right? Me and you, limo and
with my new cellular phone.
There you go. Call them up, Jim. Probably Google it on your phone.
Gabauer will run out the clock, and now he'll run the ball. Try to make a move, and that's it. That's the half. So a good one for Middleton. They get a late field goal and increase their lead to 17-0. They're pitching the shutout through 2 quarters. We've got some good halftime programming for you. Look inside Janesville Craig and a little bit about Middleton as well. And then we'll come back for the third quarter of this contest. Been a good first half. Middleton leads it by a score of 17-0. We'll be right back on Madison CW 57.
Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Kaiser Ford. A Kaiser buyer is a wiser buyer.
At Kaiser, we've changed the guest experience by redesigning our new facility around you. From the comfort of our new service area to the addition of the new ownership salon, to make your experience with us as enjoyable as possible. Now is the time to get a new F-150. Lease a new 2013 Ford F-150 for just $269 a month during Ford Truck Month at Kaiser Ford, Wisconsin's truck headquarters. Experience the new Kaiser Ford Lincoln off the Beltline at Todd Drive or at KaiserOnline.com.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for being there when my wife and I really needed you.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for backing family farms like ours.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping me purchase my home.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping rescue animals that can't save themselves.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping us make great choices. You rock!
Thanks, Blackhawk.
You're our kind of place.
Our kind of people.
Blackhawk Community Credit Union, dedicated to saving our members money and doing what's right for our community.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Serve Pro of Madison. Call Serve Pro of Madison at 221-1818 for all your fire and water emergency restoration needs. Serve Pro of Madison, like it never even happened.
Hi everyone, I'm Emmy Fink. I hope you enjoyed the first half of our football feature this week. The Middleton Cross Plains School District is finding success both on and off the field, but first we're going to dive into the academics.
Well, let's talk about academics before we get into athletics. You guys really offer a lot of great things. I mean, let's just talk about the foreign language, for example, a lot more than what other schools offer.
Yeah, I mean, again, we offer what many school districts will offer, French and Spanish. and German, but we've been fortunate enough over the last 3 years to offer Mandarin Chinese as well. My daughter, in fact, is one of the students who takes it, and we're very excited about that. We have and we also offer at the middle schools. We have more than 130 students currently taking Mandarin, and we see that as only a growing program. But again, it only makes sense. I mean, it's the language that's spoken by more people than anybody in the world, so we think it's important for students to have that opportunity, and we're excited about it.
So let's transition from academics to athletics. Obviously, Middleton Cross Plains School District excels in almost every sport as well. So I mean, obviously academics comes first. That's why everyone's in school. But for a lot of those students, that's a big reason why they love school as much as they do.
And a lot of our parents love it just as much. So no, I mean, we emphasize student athletes. I mean, we want them to do well in school, but we want them to do well in their athletic endeavors as well. We think that's important. We think it's important for them to have success, whether it's on the football field or on the tennis courts. And we're fortunate. We have a lot of students to pick from, and a great many of them work very hard, not just in their season, but out of season, on becoming very good. I don't think it's about college scholarships or anything. I think it's just about them striving to be the best student they can be and also the best athlete they can be.
You have a daughter in high school. You've kind of been through that whole route. Football really in high school is truly, Friday night is like their life, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, we draw as many as 6,000 people to some of our games, and I mean, it's funny because she might have a volleyball match on Saturday, but she wants to be at that football game with her friends, and they want to be cheering on the football team. And yeah, I mean, we're a bigger community. We have 17,000 people here in Middleton, and the entire district encompasses more than 30,000 people. But at the same time, football Fridays, you'd swear that everybody was there watching the game, even though I know they're not. So.
From football to the track, let's meet a Cardinal athlete who knows all about adversity. Delaney, talk us through the adversity that you've faced over the last year with your injury.
Yeah, so basically I started feeling shin pain in cross country of my junior season, and I wanted to run and compete still, so I just kind of powered through it, and I never thought it was as bad as it was getting. And then by my junior track season, my coaches said that I really needed to get an MRI, and I found out I actually had a grade 3 stress fracture.
And a grade 3 is the worst as far as stress fractures go, correct?
Yeah, grade 3 is the highest.
When you hear the news of you were runs away from breaking your leg, what does that make you, how does that make you feel?
It was scary. I never thought it was that severe, but now that my shins are healthy and I'm running again, I don't even know how I was running with my shins in that much pain. I used to have to take ibuprofen before I would go to bed just to sleep at night.
You really had to be a team player as far as kind of take on the cheerleading role and still be there for your team, but you have that feeling of, oh my gosh, I want to be out there so badly. How was that for you?
It was really hard because I still went to every single practice and I went to every single meet. And at the same time, to make every single meet, I was waking up early before school to do pool practices at like 5:30 in the morning. So it was definitely really hard and just mentally and emotionally draining because I wanted to be there for my team, but at the same time, I wanted to be on the track with my team.
Do you appreciate every run that you're able to do a little bit more now, having gone through the news of you were a couple runs away from breaking your leg? Is it kind of like, wow, this is a real blessing for me to get out and have the use of both of my legs?
Yeah, for sure. Every single race that I compete in, I'm so thankful that I get to compete. Every single run, I definitely don't complain as much as I used to. When the coach says, we have 1,000s to do today, instead of saying, oh, I don't want to do 1,000s, I'm like, yeah, let's do more. And I definitely appreciate it a lot more.
What have you learned through this process? Now that you're back, you're healthy, your shins feel like they should feel.
Yeah.
And you have a chance to go on and run somewhere in college. What is that feeling like for you?
It honestly feels amazing. Like going into this season, coming off of an injury, I wasn't even sure if I was going to make varsity. And just having the team that I have pushing me and cheering me on in practices and at the races, it feels awesome. And I feel like I'm coming back better than ever.
The Janesville Craig Cougars join us after this break. Stay with us.
Look, I got a truck and a winch. You want to stand around talking, or you want to tip that trailer? Lois?
I challenge you to a race around the world. Go!
Peter Griffin and Hank Hill in your backyard with words of wisdom every weeknight starting at 10, only on CW 57.
Incredible things are afoot in Flavor Nation. The sandwich savants at Herbert & Gerbert have unveiled a new collection of signature sandwiches. Pompeii, Spartan, Eruptor, Titan, Quattro. Each deliciously unique, each an icon of edibility. Sandwich lovers, welcome to Flavor Nation. Order your signature sandwich today from the Guardians of Goodness at Herbert & Gerbert Sandwich Shop.
Still weighed down by that old cell phone contract? I can't get rid of it. I've been stuck in it for 2 years. You should have done what I did. I went to SLS Cellular. They also unlocked my phone and gave me 2 separate lines on the same phone. Whoa. So I can have a separate line for home and a separate line for business. You have a business? Or I could have a separate line for my friends and a separate line for the ladies.
SLS Cellular. Pick your phone, pick your service, dump your contract.
When you're ready, help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at ServPro, helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
This Tuesday, don't miss the originals, followed by an episode of Supernatural on the CW.
Welcome to Janesville High School. I'd like you to meet the team.
We're joined with Coach Ben McCormick out here at Janesville Craig High School. Let's talk a little bit about this season so far for you guys. You've had some ups and downs, some close games, and you guys have put up a lot of points really against good teams like Verona and had a close game against Sun Prairie. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the Big Eight's a tough league. I've up to down, or top to bottom in the league. You see a quality point every week, and you know, we have scored some points, but unfortunately on the other side of that we've given up some points and lost some close games this year. And you know, I think the good news is our guys are still optimistic, enthusiastic, and you know, are still competing here. You know,
at this level, every week is a learning game. So do you see that in the players? Are they learning week to week and coming back and taking those, you know, the film and the tapes that they're watching and saying, okay, these mistakes cannot happen?
Right, we always talk about better than yesterday. We always say you're getting better, worse, you hardly ever stay the same. And you know, we preach that after games. We come in on Saturdays and watch film and work to get better, and we do things with a purpose, and that's one of the things we emphasize to our guys, and I think our guys have bought into that. Although things have not gone perfectly for us this year, we still feel like our guys really committed and buying into the program.
But Coach McCormick realizes more than ever at this stage in the game, it has to be fun.
Well, and you have to make it fun, because football, you know, it can be a grind from August 5th going on, you know, from 2-a-days, and you know, we try to break up the monotony sometimes with practice, and you know, and like I said, our motto is better than yesterday, getting better every day. So, you know, like I said, I think the biggest thing is our guys have stayed positive, and they're still competing and trying to win here.
Tell us about a few solid players that you really look to when you have to find that go-to guy.
Well, I think for us a lot of times it's our seniors. Obviously, Trey Hall has had a fantastic year running back this year. He's not very big, but he's a shifty kid with really good speed. I think you look at other playmakers. Tom Gebauer is a senior quarterback, started for 3 years for us, and when he's healthy, I think he's as good a runner as any quarterback in the league, and probably most runners in general in the league. So those two guys can, you know, can break a play open from the offensive standpoint, really at any time during the game.
A lot of ups and downs for you guys, 2-4 in conference. I know these next few weeks are must-win games, and is that a lot of pressure on your back?
Yeah, I mean, we got pressure because we have to win out, but overall in the season, we've played pretty good. I'd say just for these last 3 games, we kind of got to execute more and just kind of play more as a team so we can stick it out and hopefully make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, it is do or die, and our coaches stress that enough, and I think if we come out and we execute and trust each other, we can go with victory, and I'm pretty confident about this team making the playoffs this year. So,
how important is it every week to have that mindset of we have to win this game? Because in a conference like this, the competitive level, there is no gimme game, and that has got to be hard.
Yeah, it's hard. We know every team's going to be good. Every team has something about them that makes them stand out, and it's just we got to have our scout team give us a good look so we get better every week.
So what is it about this team that you guys are really proud of?
I think we're really proud of our skill positions. We've had a lot of speed, and we've had quite a bit of talent this year, so we've just been trying to get better every week.
2 minutes before the start of the game, what's going through your mind?
Well, I'm usually nervous. I got butterflies, but I know what I got to do and how I got to execute, and I'm worried about the team and how they're performing, but they know their job and I know my role, and my role is to run the ball and get points on the board. So I know what I got to do, and I know how to execute.
I'm just trying to get ready, stay focused, and trying to get the team kind of in it to win it. So.
Not nervous?
I get nervous here and there, but not too bad.
Your go-to meal or snack before a game?
Any kind of lasagna is good for me.
PB&J's, definitely. Have a couple.
What kind of bread?
Just regular white bread.
He's easy to please, folks, just a PB&J. Your second half is right after this break.
Look, I got a truck and a winch. You want to stand around talking or you want to tip that trailer?
Lois, I challenge you to a race around the world. Go!
Peter Griffin and Hank Hill in your backyard with words of wisdom every weeknight starting at 10, only on CW 57.
Hold on a second. First, it all starts here.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for saving my family money.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for supporting local charities.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for taking care of business when I was in the Gulf.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping students like me with scholarship grants.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for giving people with disabilities a chance.
Thanks, Blackhawk.
You're our kind of place,
our kind of people.
Blackhawk Community Credit Union, dedicated to saving our members money and doing what's right for our community. Come see what we can do for you.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Serve Pro of Madison. Call Serve Pro of Madison at 221-1818 for all your fire and water emergency restoration needs. Serve Pro of Madison, like it never even happened.
Family Guy, fall down funny 5 nights a week.
Welcome back to Breitenbach Stadium as you pan across to see the visiting side of things. The Janesville representation tonight, a lot of blue and white there on the far side. Unfortunately, their team, Janesville Craig, is trailing Middleton here at the half by a score of 17-0. Jim and Chris back with you here as we are entertained by the Middleton dance team at halftime. Nice fancy outfits, very patriotic for them.
Dance team some time on the air. There you go.
Exactly right. And I've always said, Chris, and you know, these girls prepare and work as hard as the athletic teams do. Really some of the cheer teams that do the stunts and they're really sophisticated and stuff, they work very hard. And in some cases, these are varsity sports. At least for the cheer, I don't know about the dance, but these girls have competitions all over the place, and they spend a lot of hours perfecting their craft.
They do, and it's skilled. You know, we see the halftime shows all across the state. They're always very good, very well coached. Middleton's no different. A lot of fun to see. And kudos to the Middleton band. They're also an excellent band, one of the best. We get a chance to usually hear the band, or they have a marching band. You know, see them in action, and one of the better bands in Southern Wisconsin we've seen.
And kudos also to Emmy Fink, another outstanding halftime show. A little informational stuff and good stuff. And as we sit here, Chris, tonight, I think we were speculating, we think that tomorrow is the big day for Emmy.
Wedding.
The big ceremony, we think it's tomorrow. Yeah, good luck to her.
Came up quick. Well, if it is tomorrow,
whenever it is.
Congratulations.
Maybe it was last week.
If it's already happened or if it's happening, congratulations either way.
Yeah, absolutely. 17-0 here, Middleton at the half, and I don't know if the score is, you can say the score is really not indicative of it. I mean, Middleton definitely controlled the game in the first half, Chris, but Craig didn't play that badly, did they?
You know, it was an interesting half, Jim, and I think both of us, you know, we saw the potential for Janesville Craig's offense. We knew the defense was lacking a little bit, but I got to give the credit to the defense. They played a nice half. I know there's 17 points on the board. but it could have been a lot worse. Their defense has really stepped up in some key situations. And the offense has moves the ball. They just haven't been able to get the ball in the end zone, really moving that ball kind of in the center of the field. As they get closer to that red zone, that's where they've been struggling, and the Middleton defense has been tightening up. So, interested to see how the second half goes. Middleton's obviously in control here, but you really can't count out Janesville Craig.
And you saw the student section of Middleton. It is homecoming tonight, and there's the band which performed at halftime. They're getting ready to greet the team, I think, as it comes back onto the field or gather for another ceremony down in the end zone to our right. It is 17-0 here at the half. The teams will be out in a moment to stretch and get ready for half number 2. We'll step out. Come back for the second half with us, won't you? You're watching high school football in Madison, CW57.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping me with my business.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for giving people with disabilities a chance.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping rescue animals that can't save themselves.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for backing family farms like ours.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping students like me with scholarship grants.
Thanks, Blackhawk.
You're our kind of place,
our kind of people.
Blackhawk Community Credit Union, dedicated to saving our members money and doing what's right for our community.
At SLS Cellular, Nick and his team will help you pick your phone and pick your service. They'll also help you dump your contract and save you money. No credit check required.
Incredible things are afoot in Flavor Nation. The sandwich savants at Herbert & Gerbert have unveiled a new collection of signature sandwiches. Pompeii, Spartan, Eruptor, Titan, Quattro. Each deliciously unique, each an icon of edibility. Sandwich lovers, welcome to Flavor Nation. Order your signature sandwich today from the Guardians of Goodness at Herbert & Gerbert Sandwich Shop.
Our corner of the state is home to some amazing restaurants, bars, and specialty stores. I'm Brian Lee, host of the new show Open Seating on the CW57. Join me each week as I meet with people from the food world to learn about new dishes, drinks, specials, and events. Thunder? That was just my stomach growling.
This Wednesday, don't miss Arrow, followed by The Tomorrow People on the CW.
Look, I got a truck and a winch. You want to stand around talking, or you want to tip that trailer?
Lois, I challenge you to a race around the world. Go!
Peter Griffin and Hank Hill in your backyard with words of wisdom every weeknight starting at 10, only on CW57.
Peter Griffin and Hank Hill. What are you talking about?
Cartoon dad.
Two guys you'd love to have as neighbors, huh?
Oh, probably not. He's breaking my... Peter Griffin's always messing up somebody's house every time I see that show. Got a bathtub falling through the ceiling or something.
Janesville Craig is back on the field. They've got a little work to do here at the half. Let's talk about the conference, Chris. Madison, or rather Sun Prairie, probably overcame their last and biggest challenge of the year last week, and that's not taking anything away from their opponents upcoming, but they beat Middleton last week 21-14, a game that Tim Simon here of the Cardinals felt pretty good about despite losing. It's never good to lose, and there aren't, consolation or what did Jerry Jones call it? The loss by the Cowboys to Denver. What was the phrase he used?
I know what you're talking about. I'm blanking too.
But anyway, Tim Simon thought his team played well in that loss. However, they lost the game, and Sun Prairie is now 7-0, and they look like they're almost as good as last year when they were pretty good. I get, we've seen them once. 7-0, they lead a lot of the game. They have a great running back like they did last year. They have a great quarterback. We know all about them. It looks like they're ready for another deep run into the playoffs. I would be surprised if they didn't.
I completely agree with you. When you look at Sun Prairie, you talk about balance. All throughout this year, Jim and I have talked about what makes a championship contender, what makes some of these Big 8 or even Badger Conference schools, push up to that top tier, and it's balance. You can't be just excellent on one side of the football. You truly have to have a championship level defense as well as offense. And I think Sun Prairie has had that the last couple of years. It'll be interesting to see after this year. Ryan Curran is a senior. He's going to be graduating. They've gotten 2 great years out of him. They're losing Craig Evans. I have a feeling they're going to reload, but that could be a little bit of a rebuilding year next year. There's going to be some adjustments, most definitely, for Sun Prairie. I know they have a great system over there, but I'm thinking next year there's going to be an opportunity for someone to really step up and maybe take that title away.
Moral victory is the phrase we were both struggling with.
There are no moral victories,
yeah, exactly
wins
right.
and losses.
While we're on the subject of football, Chris, as an ex-player, I'd like to bend your ear a little bit about this. This past week on public television, they had the story about concussions in the NFL, and it was a 2-hour documentary going way back and documenting some of the stuff that we've known, but kind of rehashing it and going into a little more detail about the concussion problem in the NFL. And they're taking so many steps now in the NFL to avoid traumatic head injuries that sometimes the game is unrecognizable to me because they can't hit high. They're going for legs now. Guys are getting their knees chopped out. What do you think of that, first of all? And I don't know if I've ever asked you this before, but you played high school football and semi-pro. Do you ever feel the effects of that or not?
I'll be honest, I actually got a really bad concussion my final year, my 4th year playing Mustang football. It was in our conference championship game. I can honestly say, the guy was honestly not that big. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5", over 300 pounds. The guy who hit me was, I'm going to say he's probably about 5'7", 5'8", came across the edge on a blitz, and he just came up and just rocked. He rocked me. We both fell back, and there's not too many plays I made.
Helmet to helmet?
Yeah, it was helmet to helmet, and I heard the entire crowd go, ooh. Like, I mean, they even, and someone told me after the game they heard the crack all the way in the stands. And I actually sat out the rest of the game, so did he. And I wound up playing the next week. It was our league title. That was my 3rd, Iron Bowl championship. I wanted to play in the game, and I got lucky. I didn't take any headshots, and I actually retired after that. And that hit was a big part of that retirement. It was a tough decision for me. I know I could have kept playing, but when you take a hit like that, and I was, thinking about retiring, and I just thought to myself, I don't know if it's worth it. And I did have headaches. I did have dizziness for almost a month afterwards, and it was tough to sleep. And it's a challenge, and we're hitting harder than high schoolers, but we're not quite hitting as hard as the NFL. It's actually almost hard for me I don't watch a lot of NFL football because it's actually that hard for me to watch it, knowing the pain that those guys go through. And I don't think a few people understand. Some of these kids on the field will, but if the ones that get a chance to play, I'd say if you can play at a D1 level, you'll get a taste of just how much pain you can be in the day after a football game. And I completely understand it. Those effects are long lasting, and that was my concern. I said I want to be able to play with my kids someday and not have to think twice about that. So to answer your question, yes, it's definitely something I've dealt with, something I've thought about, and it's a serious issue. So I'm hoping it doesn't change the game too much, but I think the NFL is going to continue to investigate this.
It's always amazed me because there are guys like you. Now, granted, you didn't play a dozen years in the NFL, but you played plenty of football, and you're fine, at least outwardly. I mean, you seem like you're fine. You don't. And then there's guys like Mike Webster that get goofy and suffer lifelong problems, and you end up looking at their brain, and it's full of all the stuff that they find from this traumatic injury, and I don't know how you can stop that. You can't.
It's hard because I think people think of kind of like I call them the kill shots, the shots that are just huge and you can see it's an obvious concussion. But what really does a lot of the damage, from what I've read, is it's the everyday shots. It's battling at the line of scrimmage. It's if you're a running back getting tackled 35 times a game. It's those, each little shot does have a cumulative effect. So something that's going to continue to be monitored, and I hope the advanced technology continue to help his kids and some of the pro and college athletes as well.
Well, we'll talk about that more at some point. We are kicking off for the second half. Middleton up 17-0. Here is Trey Hall grabbing it at about the 7-yard line and does not get much. Great special teams play by Middleton. That was a wonderful play by their special teams, their kickoff team, and in particular for Middleton. Somebody I don't have on my roster. Number 33. Well, number 33, congratulations to him. He was the one who made that initial stop there and allowed all the help to come.
If you watch the halftime show, Trey Hall was featured on there with Emmy Fink. And one of the things he said was, my job is to put points on the board. I kind of like that. That is, he knows exactly what he has to do for this offense, and one of the more talented players for Janesville, Craig, and kind of stepped up and put some of that on his back.
Craig will be short of their 20-yard line. They have it first in the third quarter, down 17-0. They'll throw on first down, and that pass is incomplete. Hall, the running back, was roaming over the middle, and Ulrich, the safety, had a chance to grab that overthrown back.
A little bit, you see Janesville, Craig, pinned back in their own territory a little bit. dangerous zone to be in with this talented Middleton defense. You got to really watch yourself here. No turnovers, because I tell you what, this could be a touchdown in a hurry.
Ball's actually at the 18-yard line. Second down and 10 for Janesville Craig. Gabauer, not a strong thrower, incomplete to Ryan Kind, his leading receiver over the middle. So it'll be third down and long.
You know, we hear a lot about in today's football the dual threat quarterback, and Gabauer has, not the best arm, in the Big 8, but really great at running, and really makes you think that's why you really need both threats, so to speak. It can be challenging when you get in tough situations and you can't throw yourself out when you're trying to use that run or trying to make some passes that it's just not working for you. It is nice to have both options available.
Well, we told you Gabauer's completed only 26% coming in. That ball tipped and batted back, and so it's fourth down and long. He averages 8.5 per carry running the football as a running quarterback, but can't get them out of their own end of the field with a couple of passes there, and it's fourth down.
So tough start there for Janesville Craig, going 3 and out. And Jim, you had that great stat. You said that they've only scored, Janesville Craig has only scored 6 points in third quarters across this season. So we'll see how they do this third quarter.
Luchak, the punt, goes straight up, not very far, and Schaefer comes up and makes a fair catch, tough grab in traffic inside the Janesville Craig 40 with great field position. Servpro Madison, when you need it done right and done fast, call 221-1818 for all your fire and water emergency restoration needs at Servpro. And we've got a little bit of a wind issue here too.
That just blow off the table?
Yes, it did. And a first down, Braxton gets it from the 39, and will push it for about 5 yards. Charles Braxton having a good contest again for Middleton.
He is their number one running back. Great vision, great foot speed. Has gotten better over the season. We've actually got a chance to see Middleton 3 times this year. And, each time we've seen him, he's gotten better. His vision has gotten better. He's really hitting the holes, making quick decisions. So impressed with his play so far this year.
Braxton, 4th in rushing in the Big 8 coming in. This will be Braxton again, stood up and driven down at about the 31. They might give him forward progress. I'll mark it at about the 31, so he'll be a couple short on third down.
One of the interesting, go ahead.
I was going to say, Charles Braxton, one of a number of running backs we've seen in this league this year. Little guys, they're just tough as nails. They get in there, they put their nose in there, and they're not afraid to mix it up.
And a lot of times you see that for running backs, and I always wondered if that has something to do with if you're a little bit taller, they put you at wide out at a younger age. But a lot of times, even if you look in college, that running back body, sometimes a little bit shorter, a little more compact, great leg strength, a little bit bigger, more physical.
Ronstad carried through the middle of the line for Middleton, and that'll be a first down. Let's call that the 33-yard line. Got 3, and so it'll be first down, a Servpro first down for Middleton at the 33 of Janesville Craig. Ronstad out wide to the left with Hill in the slot. That's a dangerous duo on the left side of the formation. Braxton dangerous too. Big hole on the draw, and he's down inside the 20 near the 15-yard line.
Really nice job there by Miller. As you can see, he drops back, sets up like he's going to throw that ball, holds the linebackers in the quick draw. Great play, nice little fake. Braxton again able to power through Janesville defense.
18 more for Braxton there. They're at the 15-yard line. Middleton driving again already, up 3 scores. They give it through the middle. Leahy, punishing run, gets inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line or so. Gain of a couple.
For Alex Leahy's name a couple times tonight.
You know who Frank Leahy was, don't you?
I have to say it,
You're so young. 13.
Jim
Study up here. Study up your Notre Dame football.
Oh, come on.
Come on. There's a slant on the right, and I think that was Mitchell Hurl, the intended, and it is incomplete. So it'll be third down, about 8 for Middleton.
Sure hole. Hashtag so sick. I guess that's a cool nickname. So sick. If you're watching Middleton, let's go. It's a great nickname for Middleton.
I thought maybe you would say something and reference him as a pitcher. He's ready to hurl.
That's a good casting effort. I'm trying to be a little cooler, maybe identify with the youth.
That is how it goes between the two of us, doesn't it? It's like Brent Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit. It's one end of things and the other.
We need Eminem up here in the booth being awkward. And as a big Eminem fan, I would welcome him to come in the booth. But he can even be awkward. I don't care. So Eminem, if you're watching, come be awkward.
That was one of the greatest all-time TV moments I've ever seen.
My favorite was Musburger. I think he was calling him Marshall or Mr. Mathers. It was too funny.
That penalty takes it inside the 10. It's third down and very short, but Braxton is flung back. They might give him momentum. He had to get to about the 6, and let's see where they mark it. They'll be very close.
We're going to get the SLS replay here. So keeping the ball inside, you can see Middleton really moving the line of scrimmage forward there. Janesville defense able to come around the edge, but nice job there by the O-line.
That was our man Ice Berghammer again for Janesville Craig who made that play.
Iceman cometh.
Fourth down and a long yard. Call it 2. Middleton will go for it. They have a good kicker in Rongstead, but they have a good offensive line and good backs as well. Braxton will take the pitch. Yeah, he got the first down. In fact, he got all the way near the goal line for a touchdown.
We're going to get the SLS cellular replay here. A touchdown by Braxton, and number 2 tonight. See there again, little lead on the toss. And he cut it back inside. Actually, I think he was looking for a little more contact. He had the edge, took it inside, put those big shoulders down, and got him the end zone.
So Braxton goes 6, and the extra point is good. So it is now 24-0 Middleton. We're in the third quarter. And we'll go to break. Middleton having it their way. Back for more in a minute on Madison CW 57.
Tonight's Player of the Game is brought to you by Kaiser Ford. A Kaiser buyer is a wiser buyer.
At Kaiser, we've changed the guest experience by redesigning our new facility around you. From the comfort of our new service area to the addition of the new ownership salon, to make your experience with us as enjoyable as possible. Now is the time to get a new F-150. Lease a new 2013 Ford F-150 for just $269 a month during Ford Truck Month at Kaiser Ford, Wisconsin's truck headquarters. Experience the new Kaiser Ford Lincoln off the Beltline at Todd Drive or at KaiserOnline.com.
Third quarter, and Middleton ups their lead to 24-0. Going to be hard now for Janesville Craig, that's for sure. A prominently run team, and it's been said many times, but the way they're structured, they are not built for come-from-behind football. Pick by Rongstead goes into the end zone and out of bounds. The middle of the defense really wants to pitch that shutout now, don't they?
Well, that's the other thing you always got to be a little worried about. Once you start getting into that third quarter, early fourth, now the defense is ramping up again. They might kind of call the dogs off a little bit, but once they see that 0 out there in the fourth quarter, now they want the shutout. So
if you're going to make defensive substitutions, you better make them and tell them while the offense is on the field, because those guys are going to run right out there. They're not going to let you.
I completely agree.
Yank them out of the game. At their 20, Janesville Craig has it, 1st and 10. And they'll try the inside handoff to Huber, and they get maybe 2. That play worked a few times in the first half, but not there. And Janesville Craig is definitely looking for anything that'll work on offense at this point.
And you mentioned, some struggles with Janesville Craig trying to come back, and this is going to be a problem because they're not, really adept at throwing the ball. It's just not their specialty, but they're going to have to do something in a hurry to get some points on the board. And typically that's the pass, and they just don't have it.
This is very impressive so far by Middleton, because this Craig team, and here's a run to the right as Gabar keeps it, and it's cut down at about the 21. This Craig team, Chris, beat Madison Memorial, as we said last week, they lost to Verona, but it was respectable, at least offensively. It was 69-49 they lost. And they lost to Sun Prairie, but it was 28-20. So, I mean, this team can play.
They can, and they can put, you see that 69-40, it kind of pops out at you. Verona's a pretty good football team, and their defense is better than that. So when you see 49 points, you're thinking, wow, this team's got some offense. I think that's what we both said before this game. So I was interested to see how it play out. So Middleton's done a really nice job. You can tell they've been well prepared. So we had to see the sack there. They've just truly done a great job tonight.
Tannen on a blitz gets the sack for Middleton, and it'll be 4th down and 15 for Janesville Craig. So when they really needed to get it going offensively, they go backwards and will have to give it up.
See a little linebacker blitz, and also coming off the edge. It's kind of coming from all angles, and as soon as they drop back, it's a key for that Middleton defense. Just let loose, go get the quarterback. They are looking for this guy because they know they struggle with the pass.
Uchak to kick it. Schaefer will stand at midfield. It falls short of him, and he waves everybody off, and they let it go. And that'll take a roll not even to the 50, so Middleton will have great defense or offensive starting position here. And speaking of linebackers, Chris, your friendly neighborhood pro team to the north has a different looking linebacker. They lost 2 starters in last week's win over Detroit, and their big star is going to be down for a while at outside linebacker, Clay Matthews Jr.
I talked to somebody recently who said, it's just a broken thumb. Can he wrap it up? I said, that's a tough. It's one thing to break a finger. I'll even say a broken hand. A lot of times you see the guys with the big clubs that'll play through it. But when you break a thumb, you really lose all flexibility and just dexterity in that hand. And I've known some guys that have torn ligaments in the thumb, and it is, it's a tough injury. Nice hit.
I would love to see that one again because I think DeMont Hill got smacked before the ball got there, but no flag on the play. So it's 2nd down and 10.
Calvin Geppert, Janesville Craig lay in the wood a little bit. We'll get the replay.
Let's see if I was right.
See Casey Miller looking left pretty much the whole time. Look at how Geppert was there. I think he was reading the quarterback's eyes. He was looking left.
We'll call that simultaneous, huh? Ball arrival and contact.
Close enough, huh?
Wrapped up. Good play in the open field by Henschler again, making another nice play as an outside linebacker for Janesville Craig.
Janesville Craig's had some moments in this game. You kind of see flashes. They just haven't been able to, do it consistently throughout the night. And that could be a depth issue too. You look at Middleton subbing in and out. We saw Hayden Aker playing defense tonight. When you're able to do that, when you have the depth and the talent, it really does help you out, and you can do some different things and create different looks.
3rd and 10. And that one's way out of bounds as Rongstead never had a chance for it. So it'll be a chance to punt here for Middleton. And we do not, there was a number 33 back in the game there for Middleton. We still don't have his number. At SLS Cellular, Nick and his team help you pick your phone and pick your service. They'll also help you dump your contract and save you money. Come visit and enjoy that great gourmet coffee as well. Miller will rugby kick it here. The starting quarterback boomed it all the way to the back.
That was a great running kick. That might have been one of the best running. We've seen that attempted a couple times this year, but that was the best implementation I've seen in quite a while.
Put a shrimp on the Barbie there.
Hey.
So it's 1st and 10 at the 20 for Janesville Craig. A little over 5 minutes left in the 3rd. You figure 3-4 more possessions, they have to take advantage of every one that they get, including this one.
As that clock ticks down, Jim, as you mentioned, the time of possession, I'm sorry, not time of possession, but just the opportunity to have possessions is going to keep dwindling and dwindling. So this I'd say right here is a pretty pivotal drive as we wrap up the 3rd.
Gabauer on the keeper. Good fake through the middle, gets out over the 30 to the 34 and picks up 14. Nice carry on 1st down. That's what they do very well.
So I have a theory on Janesville Craig in the 3rd quarter.
Okay.
I'll run this by. So I think they come out pretty strong. They come out strong in the first half. We saw that here tonight. playing pretty well. They don't have a lot of points on the board tonight. I think they're putting points on the board in the half. Teams are adjusting at half, coming out, giving them all they got in the third, not scoring a lot of points, and then the fourth, if they're down, I think both teams are putting in some subs.
And that was trouble all the way. Maybe so, but a good defense will handle that every time. Josh Elbach, a junior, 6 foot 200 pounds, got the sack back at the 27. So they lose about 7, and it is second down and long now.
We talked about Middleton's defense kind of ramping up as they see the zeros on the board, and I'm seeing a little more pep in their step right now as they're out there on the field having fun.
And that pass is complete. Ryan Kine makes the catch as the defender went for the ball and couldn't get it. That's a first down, I believe, for Janesville Craig. That was Brian Chapman who went for the interception, and that play will go all the way up to the 45-yard line and a first down.
Middleton with a little stunt up front on the D line. Gebauer able to get that ball off. Nice move there by Kai. Working the feet, using the sideline.
About 17 yards on that play. So it's at the 45-yard line, first and 10 for Janesville Craig. There's Huber, big fullback, smacked Cannon there to plant him into the ground up at the 48-yard line or so. Stop by Kaiser Ford Lincoln and check out Wisconsin's largest selection of new and pre-owned Fords, proudly serving Dane County since 1925.
Austin Huber's had some nice runs tonight.
Second down, about 8. Quick toss. There's Hall, the running back, with speed on the edge. But they managed to close the gap and force him off the turf. But another first down for Janesville Craig.
See, now that their ears must be burning a little bit. We were talking about the pass, and they weren't able to use it. Now a couple nice passes. Give credit where credit is due. Gabe Bowers controlling that offense right now so far this series.
About 30 yards on that pass and catch. They go back to the middle. Huber takes another big hit as he gets inside the 20, about the 19 or so. 6 on the carry there, second and 4. Can hear that wind whistling in the background.
That's the cold front, Jim. It's the cold front.
And Gebauer's pass is incomplete at the 10-yard line. Kind was the intended. Well, turn your interest in graphic design and web development into a professional career with Madison Media Institute's Digital Art and Design program. Explore the possibilities at mediainstitute.edu. So it's third down, 4 at the 19 for Craig. Trying to put something on the board and get back into this. There's a receiver who was open momentarily, and Luke Schaefer got a hand on it and almost had more. Another good play by the Cardinal defensive back.
See right there, Coach Simon was very comfortable moving Luke Schaefer to defense. Great play there. Able to anticipate Gebauer's pass and knock it down.
And if he had been able to get his hands on that one, see you later. Going the other way. Fourth down and 4 at the 19. Craig down 24 as we near the end of the third. No choice to go for it here. Play action. Gebauer will not come close. Gets back to the 20, and he'll still be 5 yards short. Another shutdown for the Middleton defense, and they give it back to the offense with the shutout intact.
Middleton's defense once again stout here, even as Janesville's moving the ball. I think it's just getting tougher and tougher for Janesville Craig. And Middleton's defense, I guarantee you, they're starting to look up now. 2 minutes to go here in the third. I saw it on that last drive. They were flying around, high-fiving. They're excited. They want this shutout.
Braxton. And as a flag comes in from behind, he gets 2, and that is in holding territory. That's in fact what it is. Flag is thrown at the 17.
I'm still curious about the 69-49 Verona game that Janesville Craig played. Looking tonight, it's 24-0 tonight, but
I wonder what happened.
A lot of questions. Interesting game.
Talked to Dave Richardson, the Verona coach, a couple weeks later. I asked him, I didn't remember, I asked him, when's the last time you scored? You allowed 49 points and won, and he couldn't tell me. I don't think that's ever happened.
It's probably never happened.
Allowing 49 is enough, but doing that and winning by 20 was a first. The hold brings it back to about the 9-yard line or so. They'll keep it on the ground with Braxton, and he has hit a hard, big sandwich, a Charles Braxton sandwich there, and finishing that off was the fine linebacker, Evan Shortreed, a big 220-pound senior.
Wow. Braxton just laid the wood. He put that shoulder down, and I believe it was number 22 for Janesville Craig, Javen Murray. Took the brunt of that.
15-yard line. Second down at about 16. Braxton on a draw. A lot of room. 30. And they manage to squeeze him off the field. Shortreed does. At the Janesville Craig 48-yard line.
Another nice run there by Braxton. Having a great game so far. Had a lot of big runs tonight, too. We've seen him kind of a couple different types of games. He can pull off this big play here. You see the huge hole, big shot out to the offensive line by Middleton. And then right now, he's just running against linebackers at this point.
About 33 yards there for Braxton, adding to his total for the night. As the wind whistles, Miller, quick toss, Damon Hill. Oh, and he's greeted. He's tried that a couple of times, and they have not been successful. Good play by the defense. Here's your buddy Javen Miller.
There you go. Javen he took the brunt from Charles Braxton's play, but then he's dishing out some pain here against Hill.
And I think Longstead was supposed to block him and couldn't get a hand on him.
Good read, didn't fall for the receiver in the flat. That receiver right there for Middleton, we didn't get a name, but you have to block that better. Javen Murray was his responsibility. He's got to get a better block. And you can see one big mantra in football is that every big play has a great wide receiver block, and you see why. If that block is made, that could have been a first down.
And so that is a timeout called with 55 seconds left in the third quarter. Or I'm sorry, we have an injured player being attended to. And so they will do that. And hopefully that player will be all right. It's a Middleton player. We'll see Damon Hill there as the player. Looks like he's doing all right. He'll get up. Serve Pro of Madison. You can call them at 221-1818 for all your fire and water emergency restoration needs. Serve Pro of Madison, like it never even happened. And Hill walks off under his own power. Looks like he might be all right, hopefully. And he will be replaced in the Middleton lineup by Travis Zander. So they lost 3 yards there, and the ball's back at their own 49-yard line. Second down. Play action, watch out. Ooh, boom. Henschler may have worked that ball loose, but they'll say that Middleton fell on it. Harry Henschler, a 6-foot, 180-pound junior, unabated from the left side, and Casey Miller never saw him.
That's a dangerous play right there. You could hear I think I even heard a couple of lookouts from the crowd. Those are a lot of times you see when quarterbacks cough up the ball. And I actually don't understand how they don't fumble that play more. When you think about getting hit in the back, you're not expecting it. I'd pretty much let go of anything else.
It's the end of the third quarter. I remember when I was a kid, I fell for that line. You know, somebody said that's a lookout block, and I thought, well, that's a cool name for it. What do you call that for? When you miss your man and you turn around and say, look out!
That was the end of Jim Cassin's football career.
Yes, what little there was. I didn't want to get hurt. Third quarter has come to an end. It is Middleton in the lead, 24-0, 12 minutes to play. Quarter number 4 upcoming on Madison CW.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Madison Media Institute. Students at Madison Media Institute are given hands-on training from Grammy and Emmy award-winning faculty. Visit mediainstitute.edu. It all starts here.
Wait. First, it all starts here.
So a short quarter break, and we are ready to go. And Casey Miller is ready to go for Middleton. 3rd and a ton, about 22. Miller wants it all. Man is open. Ball is caught. And it's down inside the 15-yard line.
Wow, just an absolute bomb there. Nice throw by Miller.
I think that was Hurl, the big tight end. Let's see, Ronstadt way across on the other side of the field.
Hashtag so sick is in the building.
No, that was Xander who caught it.
Oh, missed an opportunity there.
Down to the 11-yard line.
I retract my hashtag.
39 yards on the reception by Xander, who came in for an injured DeMond Hill. And Middleton knocking on the door again. Braxton with the carry inside the 10 to the 8. I'm sorry, that was our friend number 33, whom we do not have on the carry.
Get a quick replay here, just a little inside replay, nothing fancy.
So I hate to do that to our viewers, but we don't have them. They don't tell us those things. So we'll get his name before we get out of here. It's a nice thing about college football and the NFL. They give you gobs of information to start. They have information.
I tell you what, teams are getting better even from last year to this year. If there's any coaches watching, we love stats. If you have stats, we'll love to have them.
That looks like Leahy as the reserves are going to play. Now a little bit of extra after the whistle involvement here. Boys will be boys. And the referees break it up, get there very quickly.
You know, games like this, there's always a little bit of chippiness. Guys are frustrated. I think some guys might have been a little peeved at that long pass, with Middleton up 24-0. But you know what? You got to play football. And, there's still things that Middleton's probably got to work on right now.
So are you okay with that? Long pass? It's the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's not.
I'm okay with that. I think you got to get your work in. That was a fair pass. And they're running the ball right now. I think it's fair. I don't think you can just shut down your offense.
Schaefer's playing quarterback. Braxton gets to the end zone for the 3rd time tonight from 2 yards out. And it's 30-0.
Braxton with another touchdown. This one was pretty easy. Nothing too fancy here. See, they put Schaefer back in. Little read play there. Quick get to Braxton and a nice touchdown run.
So it becomes 30-0, and Ronstadt will try the extra point here.
You got Charles Braxton on your Big 8 fantasy team?
Your high school fantasy team? So the extra point is good, and it is now 31-0 for Middleton as we begin the 4th. We will come back. You're watching high school football on Madison CW.
At SLS Cellular, Nick and his team will help you pick your phone and pick your service. They'll also help you dump your contract and save you money. Come visit us and enjoy a free cup of gourmet coffee.
The
weighed down by that old cell phone contract?
I can't get rid of it. I've been stuck in it for 2 years.
You should have done what I did. I went to SLS Cellular. They also unlocked my phone and gave me 2 separate lines on the same phone.
Whoa.
So I can have a separate line for home and a separate line for business.
You have a business?
Or I could have a separate line for my friends and a separate line for the ladies.
SLS Cellular. Pick your phone, pick your service, dump your contract.
So it is 31-0. And that little boy there, the one of the two with the darker hair, that's whose autograph we got last week. That's why he's
unknowingly got last week.
He's a TV star.
He loves to give autographs. Be careful. He might just drop one off for you.
31-0, and Janesville Craig will start near their 30-yard line. We found out who number 33 is. I hate to tell this story on the air, but it's just too cute. It's so high school. 33 for Middleton is George Monreal. We have seen him play in past games. He is usually number 23, but he lost his jersey.
Oh. Hey.
Or so they say. I don't believe it.
I'm going to clean this up a bit, but things happen. I think I'll keep it clean for the air. But
I think somebody took it. I don't think he lost it. There's Schaefer and Ryan Kind.
Now, who would take a jersey? Come on. Can't wear it anywhere. We're going to know you took it.
How many coaches have dealt with that kind of thing, though, over the years?
Can't say it. I did leave my pads at home for a Mustang game.
There you go.
And,
as a semi-professional
I literally just
football,
went up to
as an adult.
I went up to one of our bench warmers and just said, "Give me your pads." He's like, "What are you talking about? I got to use these." I'm like, "No, you don't. You can have them back when I'm done."
You meanie. You forgot your pads.
It wasn't a big deal. I took it.
I know you didn't like padded practices, but don't you think that's carrying it a bit too far? Gabauer overthrows.
I think it's because we always had great. Whatever team I was on, at Edgewood or the Mustangs, always had really good defense. I went up against in high school Jason Palermo. Some of you might remember the name. His dad was the D-line coach for the Badgers. Jason actually played for the Badgers, and I remember he was a year younger than me. And I remember the coaches would say, "All right, guys, just go 70%." And he would go so hard. He'd say, "Jason, what?" He's like, "Well, I don't really know what 70 is, so I just go full speed." I was like, "All right, I can't do this."
That's just like his dad, John Palermo.
Jason Palermo, great guy.
And Gabauer can't make the first down, gets to the 36. He'll be 4 yards short. So let's see if Janesville Craig will kick it or try for it here in their own territory at the 36. So they'll apparently go for it. They will at their 36-yard line. On fourth down, they've got 4 to go. They've got to get to the 40-yard line.
Big fourth down here. Look out for the run. Try to sneak this one by.
And indeed, Hall will try it. He does get it. And is forced down after a gain out to the 42, but got 5 and enough for the first down. Hey, good for them.
Nice first down there by Janesville Craig.
And that proud Middleton defense is still going strong, Chris. They've got their starters in there. And those guys, this means a lot to them. To get a shutout means the world to them.
That's a big deal. It's hard to get shutouts. At any level, it is really hard to get shutouts.
42-yard line, their own for Janesville Craig. The clock is definitely not their friend. Just want to start with a score, get 1, and go from there. Gebauer again and again overshoots his defender. Rohr, I think, was the intended. Josh Ressler, it might have been. And it was Alex Rohr, the intended receiver. And so Middleton will get it back on downs, I believe. No, I'm sorry, they got the first down, so it is second down. Beg your pardon, at the 42-yard line.
You know what, Jim? At SLS Cellular, Nick and his team will help you pick your phone, pick your service. They will also help you dump your contract and save you some money. No credit check required. Ask for Caleb. See if Caleb's there.
He'll take care of you.
Well, give me an autograph.
42. Second down.
Whoa.
Little pitch to
Trickeration.
Ryan. And he'll throw it and complete it.
At the 30-yard line of Middleton, they get the little trick play. That is Dan Wime, a tight end, a junior, and it goes all the way into Middleton territory at about the 28-yard line.
I think we might have an injured player here, but get the SLS replay here. See the pitch on the little end around. Great throw. That's a tough throw. He really threaded the needle there.
29 yards.
It's a nice job there picking up the first down. Sometimes you got to get creative, take a few chances, have some fun with it.
And the officials called the timeout. That's Wime who caught that pass, and up he pops and goes back to the bench. And believe it or not, folks, looking at Dan Wime there, all of 5'8", 155 for Janesville Craig. He's listed, Chris, as a tight end.
Wow.
Actually listed as a running back, I guess, but also plays in the slot as a tight end.
Not your typical tight, not your Rob Gronkowski but type body.
Soy Fiesta.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Love the Gronk.
At the 29-yard line.
Love the Gronk.
I guess he's not going to play now this week.
Yeah, you know Belichick.
Kind the catch near the 20 and driven back, so they complete a couple passes in a row.
Brought down by Luke Schaefer.
Got about 9 there, second down. And clock will wind under 8 minutes.
I don't know how one person could break an arm twice that close together. That's Gronkowski's a special guy. I'll tell you that.
Sometimes you wonder if it's all there between the ears, but he's a heck of a football player. I'll tell you that. Pass incomplete near the 10. So it'll be third down for Janesville Craig, third down and 2. So third down.
As our papers are flying over here.
It's a windy night. Third down 2 for Craig. And they'll give it to their main man at running back, and that's Trey Hall. And now they're knocking on the door to get a score here. Hall picks up the first down.
And after the third quarter rang true, you don't have any fourth quarter stats, do you?
I haven't.
Only 6 points in the third quarter all season for Janesville Craig.
Chris, they've scored 62 in the fourth quarter, so much better fourth quarter. Here's Huber. He's trying to get in there. He is very close. No indication yet. And I don't think he made it.
Oh,
they might have fumbled it. Middleton comes out of there with it, and they're going to have it. Ryan Chapman, the linebacker, standing there with ball raised above his head, telling everybody, hey, look, I have it. And indeed, Middleton will take over.
That was a big turn of events as Janesville Craig goes from getting their first touchdown of the night to a turnover.
That's kind of funny. Everybody was looking at the scrum, and Chapman was standing there. Hey, fellas, it's right here.
I'll take this, thank you.
And that one went into the end zone where it was recovered, so they get it out at the 20-yard line.
While we get a second here, I want to remind our fans, stop by Kaiser Ford Lincoln, where you can get Kaiser's internet verified prices every single day. Proudly serving Dane County since 1925.
I am very impressed by the big man here, even though it's windy coming into this press box. No jacket donned yet.
I'm tough, John.
Oh, with a great catch over the middle at the 36-yard line.
Hashtag so sick. Love it. Love it. My main man, Mitchell Hurl.
All right, you think they're going to have that at Middleton High School this week? They're going to pick up on that?
Those of you that are wondering, does sick mean good or bad? Sick means good. Sick at something you're good at. Hashtag so sick.
All right.
Mitchell Hurl.
Tweet that out and see if you and...
If you guys like it, tweet at me at Chris Canty.
Serve
like
pro first
hashtag
down.
So sick.
They'll try to run it up the middle. And if you get on there, you could start tweeting to Mitchell Hurl, and maybe he would tweet back to you. And then you would have Twitter, and then more would follow you.
We heard about some Twitter battles. Actually, Janesville Craig was involved and heard about some Twitter stuff with Memorial. I've heard of some other teams. I wonder how much the kids are jaw-jacking on Twitter. It's an easy way to do it.
And I would see it. I follow you, and then I might follow him.
There you go.
He would have more followers.
I follow you, Jim, but you don't tweet much.
Remember one night I tweeted like 3 times, and you were like, "Oh my God, what's happening?"
Like, who's this guy blowing up my feet? You're the only guy I still keep on device updates. Or actually get a text message if you tweet, because I know you're not going to. So whenever you tweet, I'm like, oh, hey, look at this tweet. SLS replay here. Quick handoff inside. Alex Leahy carries here late in the game. Whoa, took a shot.
After that, it brings up 3rd down and 3 for Middleton.
Gain of 4 on the play makes it 3rd and 3 for the Cardinals.
So Middleton would love to keep it here and grind it out. And Schaefer gets out of it somehow and runs and is knocked out of bounds hard into the Janesville bench. Short of the 1st down. Boy, oh boy, he took a smack there, and look at him. He gets right up and runs right back out of it. Good for him.
We talked earlier about Schaefer. And
now, how did he get away from Henschler there?
See there, just leg strike there, just pumping out of it. Then he hit that edge and he's gone. Took a shot there. Good no call by the rest. That was close to an out of bound, hit out of bounds, but good no call.
Went actually for no gain, so they'll have to kick it on 4th down. And they had to get that punt team out there in a hurry. I think maybe the offense thought they would go for it, but that's not the case. And so Miller on to kick. Here he goes running again. He has room to pick up that 1st down. He does, however, a flag from the near side as Miller goes out near midfield. Got the 1st down by about 5 yards, but let's see what the flag is. Came from the line judge on the near side. Middleton group very interested to see what was called. And Janesville Craig signaling that it will go on the Cardinals. It was a motion penalty, so of course Janesville Craig will make them do this over. You have one of your best athletes, Chris, your starting quarterback out there on the edge. That's a dangerous thing to have on a punt team. And it worked, but there was a penalty.
He saw the open space, and sometimes fake punts are reads. So I know even at the Mustang level, we would have plays where if the punter saw it, he could just go. He didn't have to get a coach's decision or approval. If he saw something he liked, he could just do it.
But if he went and didn't make it, then
as
he'd
long
hear
as
from
you
the
can
coach.
justify it, you got to be able to justify it. Whoa.
Miller will kick it this time. May have been
that was close to rough. I guess not. Apparently, you can do that.
Somebody may have gotten a hand on that. And Miller gets up. No worse for the wearer. Tim Simon wanted. Tim Simon is out talking to that official. He thought it was roughing. Do we have that one again?
It looked like that was. I mean, he literally just shoved him. I've really usually plays like that are definitely called roughing the picker.
I thought maybe there was somebody got a fingertip on the ball. If they did, now another coach is giving that official an earful. Tim Simon will coach it out to the end. That's the way to do it too.
He's doing it. We've seen a long bomb,
exactly.
Fake punt.
You're out there, you're coaching, even if with a 31-0 lead. Now another official getting it from the two of them.
Remember our Adam Smith, head coach of the Mustangs, used to take some heat because we'd be up big in games. But he'd always tell us, he's like, hey guys, we've only ran 6-17 offensive plays. We might be up by 55, but he's like, we got to get work in. So, he would try to tone things down a little bit, but sometimes you just got to run your offense. And, this is all they get for game time. So they have to try some new things. And I also think when you get in a game like this, sometimes you test something out, something you might not normally run. And you got some live coverage here.
And a penalty to boot on the Middleton defense makes it 1st and 5. Now some reserves being sprinkled in there defensively to try and hold on to this shutout. And Hall goes to the 46.
Real quick here, Jim, let's talk some Janesville radio. We're going to be back in Janesville next week, or back with Janesville, so to speak. For the best live radio coverage of Janesville high school sports, tune into News Radio 1230 WCLO AM in Janesville. Check the broadcast schedule and listen to podcasts of every game on your computer or smartphone anytime at WCLO.com.
Good folks there at 12:30 in Janesville. Do a good job. Huber weaving through traffic, and you'll get a nice gain here. All the way inside the 40 of Middleton.
Huber's had a nice game. He's had some solid runs today.
And number 46, Peyton Brunker.
See there, a little read option. And Huber is deceptively fast. Every time I look at him, I think he's a little faster than he looks.
19 to the 36-yard line of Middleton, with time winding down near the 4-minute mark. And Huber again through the middle. And Middleton trying to hold on to this shutout. But, Chris, they are getting some reserve players in there, which is good to see. Give guys a chance to play.
Yeah, you always like to see that. You know, senior night, or I think I believe this is the last home game for Middleton. They're playing La Falls next week, but this is always a special night for them. It's homecoming, and you always love to see those guys that work their butts off in practice get a little time too. And I think actually a lot of the starters like that. That was always one of my favorite times of the game, where I could kind of come out and watch some of the other guys enjoy the game.
At the 29, 2nd down and 3, Huber stretches for that first down. He needed to get about the 26, so I think he got it. He's at the 25, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 for Janesville Craig.
A fresh set of downs there for Craig. They're moving the ball well here in the 4th quarter, Jeff. I think they're trying to ruin this shot. It's a battle of the, is it going to be a shutout, or are they going to ruin this one?
Hall on the little counter from the wing gets virtually nothing.
Jim, at Madison Media Institute, you can learn to design and install cutting-edge media systems through the Electronic and Audio Visual Systems program. Madison Media Institute, visit them at mediainstitute.edu. It all starts here. I'm still waiting for our graduate level course we'll be teaching.
They know what they like, and they're good at it.
There we go.
Huber again, or rather Gabauer, scamper into the end zone. And that is a touchdown of 24 yards for Janesville Craig.
Gabauer been one of the rushing leaders. There you go on that little fake dive option. Keeps it. Able to weave through the Middleton defense.
24 for Gabauer, and they'll go for the 2-point conversion.
Oh, wait, no, they're kicking it.
Oh, I'm sorry, they will kick it. You're right. Thought they were going to kick it. Or go for the 2. Joe Glowacki is the kicker, and he'll boom it through the uprights. So it's 31-7 with 2:45 remaining in the contest. And we'll take a break. And the Middleton offense will be back out there trying to run it out. We'll be back on Madison CW 57.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Serve Pro of Madison. Call Serve Pro of Madison at 221-1818 for all your fire and water emergency restoration needs. Serve Pro of Madison, like it never even happened.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping me with my business.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for giving people with disabilities a chance.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping rescue animals that can't save themselves.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for backing family farms like ours.
Thanks, Blackhawk, for helping students like me with scholarship grants.
Thanks, Blackhawk.
You're our kind of place.
Our kind of people.
Blackhawk Community Credit Union, dedicated to saving our members money and doing what's right for our community.
Jim at SLS Cellular, Nick and his team will help you pick your phone and pick your service. They'll also help you dump your contract and save you some money. No credit check required. SLS Cellular out in Sun Prairie. As we welcome you back to a blustery evening here at Bright Rock Stadium. Take it away, Cass.
But a good night, though. Man, we have not had, this is week 8, and one more to go. We have
still
not
in short
had
sleeves and sandals right now.
We haven't had a cold weather game yet.
Of course, for the biggest tailgate I've ever thrown tomorrow. It's going to be raining. Awesome. Rain in 2 weeks.
As you may have heard us talk about in the past, Chris each year has a huge tailgate before one of the Badger games. about this time, and tomorrow, as we sit here on a Friday night, Saturday is the day for the Northwestern game.
Yeah,
What time are you going to be out there?
I got a 6 a.m. alarm already set. Be down there. We're leaving my house at 7. Smoker will be started by 8 a.m.
And what's on the menu?
I'm doing a pecan wood smoked chicken. Doing a bacon cheeseburger with a little bit of pulled pork on top on Texas toast. Trying to see what else here. I'm doing baked macaroni and cheese, chicken lettuce wraps, like P.F. Chang style.
Did you say a cheeseburger with pork?
Yeah, that's happening. It's happening, big fella. Better get down there.
All right. I have to find a way.
That is happening. We got 5 grills going to be down there. Professional. Don't mess around.
You want to give
100 people, Jim.
100 people.
We got 100 people coming.
All right.
Big shout out to my tailgate crew. Tailgate usually 3 or 4 times a year. We try to go as hard as we can. It's a lot of fun.
Geppert on the carry, the last carry for Middleton. Got a couple of minutes here for the reserves to show what they can do.
We'll be running out the clock here. I think we've.
And they try it again. They're trying hard there. And Calvin Geppert again for Middleton.
Jim, make sure you call Surf Pro of Madison at 221-1818 for all your fire and water emergency restoration needs. Surf Pro of Madison, like it never happened.
Brett Jors is the quarterback for Middleton.
QB alert, new QB.
31-7, Middleton will go.
Oh.
And that is a pitch back to Geppert that goes out of bounds. Middleton will keep it. The win tonight, they'll move to 6-2, and Middleton will have a chance to close out a 7-2 season next week. Let's see if they can do it. They will. I don't have who they'll play next week. So they punt it here, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 33-yard line or so.
Folks, make sure you stop by Kaiser Ford Lincoln. Check out Wisconsin's largest selection of new and pre-owned Fords. Proudly serving Dane County since 1925. Speaking of Kaiser, we're about to have our Kaiser Ford Lincoln Player of the Game. We have it selected. It's in a sealed envelope. Jim's waiting to open it up.
Well, you said it before. They will be at La Follette next week, Middleton will, so.
I will have to check the scores later. Obviously, when you guys see this broadcast, tape Fridays, so you'll know all the scores. But Sun Prairie has a chance to basically wrap up the title tonight, because I think La Follette was the only one who's got a shot, and they beat La Follette. So Sun Prairie, if they win tonight, will be your conference championship for 2013.
So Middleton's next thing is to play La Follette next week, and that should be actually a pretty good ball game at Lucier Stadium in Madison. And then the playoffs, and Middleton will be in position to possibly host a first-round game. They would like to make a very deep run. Officials talking on the sideline here, Chris, and the ball will go back to Middleton. And we'll get the indication here. It was a foul on Janesville Craig, which was declined, so it'll stay with Craig at the 33-yard line. And Middleton just wants to get this one over with. Time for a few plays here for Craig, and this one will be done. Scoring started off midway through the first at the 5:41 mark when Derek Rongstad made an outstanding catch in the back of the end zone on a 20-yard pass from Casey Miller. 7-0 Middleton. Then Charles Braxton with the first of his 3 touchdown runs. A 4-yarder in the second, a 6-yarder in the third, and then a 2-yarder in the fourth, in between Rongstad with a 35-yard field goal. And it's a 31-7 lead as Janesville Craig scored on their last possession and trying to get another one here to make it a little closer for a final score.
Doing their best here. And the wind is picking up. I will not put on my fleece, Jim, though. We're going to hang tough here this minute. Last game, I'll probably be in short sleeves.
You're a tougher man than I.
I try.
Next week we'll be at Monterey Stadium in Janesville, the Battle of Janesville. We'll see the same Craig team against Janesville Parker. So we look forward to that in our final game of the year on Madison CW 57.
Single tier.
I know you'll miss me, Chris.
I always do, Jim.
Nice open field tackle. And that could bring it close to an end. These guys on the second team practice just as hard as the first teamers. They form a bond amongst themselves and like to get out there and give it a go in meaningful time. And that'll be it for the contest.
We're going to hang tight.
So our final score is Middleton 31 and Janesville Craig 7. We're going to take a break. We'll come back, name our player of the game from Kaiser Lincoln Ford, and we will do that when we return. Our final score here at Breitenbach Stadium. Middleton wins it by a score of 31-7. We'll come back with our postgame after this on Madison CW 57.
At SLS Cellular, Nick and his team will help you pick your phone and pick your service. They'll also help you dump your contract and save you money. No credit check required.
Incredible things are afoot in Flavor Nation. The sandwich savants at Herbert & Gerbert have unveiled a new collection of signature sandwiches. Pompeii, Spartan, Eruptor, Titan, Quattro. Each deliciously unique, each an icon of edibility. Sandwich lovers, welcome to Flavor Nation. Order your signature sandwich today from the Guardians of Goodness at Herbert & Gerbert Sandwich Shop.
Our corner of the state is home to some amazing restaurants, bars, and specialty stores. I'm Brian Lee, host of the new show Open Seating on the CW 57. Join me each week as I meet with people from the food world to learn about new dishes, drinks, specials, and events. Thunder? That was just my stomach growling.
Well, there you see a shot of us and others at the beautiful complex that is Breitenbach Stadium. That press box that you see that we are in is one of the best, if not the best, in the area. It's always great to do a game here, and they treat us so well. Final score 31-7, big man, and it's time to name our player of the game. I'll give you the honors.
Drum roll, the Kaiser Ford Lincoln player of the game, Charles Braxton, number 2 running back for Middleton. Well, I shouldn't say back-to-back, but two-time. He might be the first two-time award winner.
Tonight's Kaiser player of the game is Charles Braxton. He had a great performance tonight. Congratulations to Charles for being tonight's Kaiser Ford Lincoln player of the game. Remember, a Kaiser buyer is a wiser buyer. So Middleton Chris rebounds very nicely from their loss to Sun Prairie, and as we discussed, they're set up well for future success. Janesville Craig gave it a good effort tonight, Chris, but their dream for the playoffs, for all practical purposes, ends now as they go to 3-5. If they win next week, there's a real outside chance. 4 and 5 teams have made it in the past, but it would be a real stretch to think that they can make it. So they're playing for pride next week, as is Parker, but it's one of those games where you throw away the records, and I'm looking forward to being down at Monterey Stadium.
It should be great. First time we've kind of left the Madison market. We've done Mount Horeb, gotten out a little bit this year, so we're getting down to Janesville. It's going to be something different. We're excited.
We're going on a road trip.
Hey-o. Me and Jim in the car for 38 to 40 minutes. So it'll be fun. We'll have to put a GoPro cam or something in the car.
Try to have burritos for lunch.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
We'll see you next week. Again, thanks to everybody here at Middleton for doing such a great job, and thanks to our crew. We keep telling you they are the best, Chris. They get here early to set it up. They leave late after we do. They work so hard, and we appreciate their great efforts. Don't forget, you can watch these games Saturday nights at 7 and Sunday mornings at 10 on Madison CW 57 Channel 2, cable for CW 57, HD Channel 616 for Dish and Direct TV. So we invite you to join us each and every week for high school football. We'll join you next week from Janesville for Parker and Craig. Our final score tonight, Middleton wins it 31-7. The Cardinals go to 6-2 for the season. Nice to be with you. Thanks to our great sponsors and to you, our great viewers. We love it having you along. Talk to you next week on Madison CW57.